Hypothetical scenario of my paying off my student loans with an income of, everybody, they're like, okay, it's 24 to 29,000. You gotta do one more that you can still pay it off, but you know, less than you made before. I went with $26,000 per year. So I'm Tanis Leonhardi, she, her, hers of Seattle, and I'm filming this Tuesday, 9 April 2024. I've covered the scenario of double the highest income I've had at the end of the year. I've gone a little bit above that, like was it 7,000 above that, then equal to that highest income, and now I'm doing a little bit below because I took a huge pay cut when I quit my job. Went from, you know, was it $35,000 a year to $0 a year. Okay, so here I talked through a hypothetical scenario of my paying off my student loans with an annual income of $26,000. This is not an annual salary I have made to date. This is true. Video film Tuesday, 9 April 2024. General note, if any of these student loan repayment scenarios I have covered explicitly play out, it would mark the first times I received a job offer without applying and interviewing. So it's kind of like the gold standard. If somebody wants to hire me or has wanted to hire me, Tanis Leonhardi, they would have done blank, which has not happened, of made me a job offer and like, here's the job. They would not make me apply and they would not make me interview. I've gotten, the closest I've gotten to that was I was in a class and people were like, we want you to work in our lab. When I was at the University of Hawaii at Manoa, they were like, we want you to work in the lab. You still have to go through like the application, like you still have to submit this stuff online and you still have to do the interview, but we want to hire you. So it was kind of like, but I still had to submit the application materials and go through the interview. But that was the closest I've gotten. The other one that I've gotten close for, and half of it, was my graduate school interviews. I applied and was accepted. I didn't have a formal interview for any of those. Okay. However, they did not submit me an offer of their own initiative. I applied, right? So it was driven by me, not by them. Okay, annual income / employer setup. Okay, so if I actually get one of these that I've described, the $78,000, $46,000, $39,000, and then this one, $26,000, if I actually got one of these, it would be a huge life first for me that that employer wants me so much that they will give me a job. Here's the job, here's the offer, here's the job. I don't even have to apply an interview. So that'd be huge for me, Tanis Leonhardi, she, her, hers of Seattle. I haven't had that happen. I realize that's very common in certain settings, and especially like with people with 6-figure salaries. Not all of them, but a lot of them kind of get that. I have not. So $26,000 per year, employers and breakdown. So it's annual income / employer setup. $26,000 per year, employers and breakdown. Employer of Leon Marchand, who pays me the $26,000 per year with 4 weeks optional paid time off that does not roll over. So this is less than Hubert Coase and 2 on the pay scale, and then also less on the time off that does not roll over. Housing / who living with. So this would be, this and the last one are kind of more sugar daddy. There's balancing the living with my soulmate and or soulmates, and they cover a lot of, they provide for me, care for me, kind of thing. I'm very reliant on them, kind of thing. Okay, the context. University of California, Berkeley took me one job to make approximately more than this much in 1 year. So I've made a little bit more, like after taxes, but the income was a little bit more. As of the date of filming this video, have received salary offers equal to or above this salary. Did have to apply. So when my graduate school visits, some of the places in the South, I think the income was, the offer was, the salary was approximately $26,000 a year. So like Texas and Georgia, approximately. Okay, it's been a while, so those numbers might be a bit rusty. But the cost of living was like, you know, like I remember actually touring one. It was like a 2-bedroom apartment in rent with a kitchen and like a living room and stuff, and it was like $550 a month for rent. And I ended up going to California, in Berkeley, where a studio was over $2,000. Okay, like, $26,000 in the South, and you're well off. It was like an eye-opening experience. So essentially, if you make a 6-figure income in the South, you're really like a millionaire elsewhere in the country. Okay, so taxes total to withhold from income. I put this for these calculations at approximately 15%, which is $3,900 a year. The remaining would be about $22,100 a year. Then student loans, so approximately $45,000, which it changes as interest accrues / loans are paid off. So I did 25% from the salary, which is $6,500 a year. Remaining income, $15,600 per year, which was approximately my income package, including stipend, room and board, and scholarships at the University of Hawaii from November 2012 to October 2013. Which I think I did the calculations back then, I was like, if I add up everything, because I had a job, but I only got to see like in the pocket the stipend, and I was like, but if I add up everything where I'm here, the room and board, which is part of the package, the stipend, and scholarships, it came out to about this much. So I know like a lifestyle with this amount of income, or like I would say feelable, livable, because it was room and board, right? Room and board means food and lodging. Kind of, it's another way of thinking of it. So time frame for paying off student loans would be approximately, this is a bit of a jump from the last one, 6.923 years at $6,500 per year. If really wanting the 25% of income may take longer, depending on amount of interest accrued / accruing. So this one is a bit of it's a multi-year jump from the $39,000 a year. And it's a small enough income that the interest accruing might take a little bit of time to get on top of. Right, so it was like my way of like being as painful as it is. This number might be more like fast as possible and probably longer. The 6.923 years. So lifestyle / hobbies during repayment period. I got 2. I can over 2. Running, yes, and he could become my master, cooking with Leon and others. So like we spent 2 years perfecting the apple fritter recipe, and then we go, wait, there's still over 5 more years to pay off the loans, or there's still 5 years to pay off the how many more recipes do we want to do? Okay, so lifestyle change once they are paid off, about the same. If I do my heritage travel series, may be able to get in or to add in some field work. So this is the one where the field work takes a bit of a hit. All right. I might prioritize the heritage travel series and be like, let's just start doing something, because this is a long enough repayment period that delaying is not really okay. I got to find a way to make it work, especially if my man is providing for me, carry on his positive legacy. Okay, we are a scrappy couple. Okay, YouTube projects, the video frequency during repayment and post repayment. Heritage travel trip series spacing may be farther apart than initial. 1 trip every approximately 1 to 2 years. Ireland, for example. So like, let's say it takes me a few years to get to the first one, but it's not entirely delayed, like with the $78,000 or $46,000 per year. I might end up fighting, or it's not a fighting, it's a race. Who's going to get to Ireland first? Am I going to get there for my heritage travel trip series trip, or is Dad going to move there first? I don't know. It could play out in really weird ways. And then Jacob Ingebrigtsen goes, I still want to be in eating videos. Here's the Jacob Ingebrigtsen fund. And so Jacob Ingebrigtsen fund in style for eating videos. So shared account with money designated for videos. So yeah. Right, and adjusting to the being provided for and still making videos, but not having that, like, right, it's our money, it's not employer money, so it's fine, but just there's still a lifestyle adjustment to that. a credit card or shared account with a credit card in my name when I'm sharing it with Jacob Ingebrigtsen. He's like, I won't be in the videos, babe. He says, our first time together, my Jacob Ingebrigtsen and I, was 12 hours without stopping. He's like, don't worry. The man who hurt her in the past has been crushed. With longevity. Okay. So is there any last takeaways for this particular hypothetical scenario? Yes. Why is this income important? It's actually very important if I want to enter the workforce, right, as in like get paid salary and stuff, because it is reflective of pay cuts during the COVID-19 pandemic. So I quit in October 2019, and like the pandemic officially started, what, January 2020 or something, and stuff didn't really close down until March 2020. A lot of businesses closed. A lot of businesses had to implement pay cuts or job cuts. So if I want to be on par with my experience and like my career experience with the masses, so to speak, this would be a pay cut compared to where I left off. So in that sense, it would be I'm getting caught up to speed with what people went through during the COVID-19 pandemic. Well, not during the pandemic itself, right? That would be after, but it would be an equalizer of sorts in that sense. So I was talking through a hypothetical scenario of my paying off my student loans with an income of $26,000 per year.